Yeah. Hustling and grinding, don't know where to go. Emerald Coast board, got the knowledge flow. Whispers in the wind, strategies unfold. Business blueprint like a pirate's code.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Tab Lab with your host, Mickey Kilburn, whoop, whoop, and myself, Neil Grosshider. And we have a very special episode today with our very own Katie McCartee here to join us for an awesome episode. But before we jump into anything, we do have to give them a few shout outs. So Tanya Seabrook with Seabrook Marketing and her awesome podcast, Run of Show, which you can find in the description. Please check that out. It's a really good podcast, as well as Ryan Balmer with the Suffer Up podcast. Two great podcasts. If you guys have not checked those out, please do so because they help us out tremendously.
Isn't Ryan a veteran?
Ryan is a vet.
What service was he again?
He was.
Go Navy.
But it's
Ryan
cool.
Balmer.
He's a cool dude.
He's a good
I
guy.
really like
This podcast is great.
it. It is. But it kind of goes into what we're talking about today, because today we are talking about something very important because it is the day before Thanksgiving. And we are all getting ready to go and talk to those family members, those friends that we see once, twice, 3, 4 times a year, maybe. And that relationship is just kind of there. So today we are actually talking about deepening relationships, mainly from the entrepreneurial standpoint. But what Katie is going to lay down for us is how we can use this in our daily lives, regardless of who we're talking to. So it doesn't have to be an entrepreneur. It can be just us and our family and our friends. So without further ado, Katie McCartee, who is a Dale Carnegie Trainer and who is amazing. That's why we brought her on
Yes.
board, because she is the master when it comes to deepening relationships and probably one of the best people we've talked to help us even just better ourselves.
And she's just an awesome person.
She is an awesome person.
Thank
That's
you.
very true.
We're all
Yeah.
from the Midwest too, right?
It
It's
is
just got
true.
Midwest, Missouri, and then slightly over we got Kansas.
There is,
City.
We're all
we
exactly.
don't really count.
Barbecue capital of the world.
Absolutely. That's right.
Yes.
Barbecue.
How about them Chiefs?
That's right. Go Chiefs.
Go with that.
Yes. Go Chiefs. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thanks for having me, you guys. This
Yeah.
is very fantastic. Yeah, this is exciting.
We were really excited because people have so many issues deepening their own relationships, right?
Sure.
People go through life and they just focus on what's going on in my world, what's going on in my life. And then they meet somebody and they're like, oh yeah, what was that guy's name?
Mm-hmm.
What do they do?
Mm-hmm.
I really need to know them.
Mm-hmm. It is. It is. It's tough because it doesn't come easy to some people, right? And that's one thing that, in our training, we like to talk about is, think about the important leaders in your life. Think about those in your life who you respect and who you consider successful. What are those traits? What do you think? What do you think is a trait of someone who is successful?
So
A leader.
for me, somebody who cares,
Mm,
not just about what they're doing, but about me.
absolutely.
Again, we're all inherently selfish, right?
Mm-hmm.
We all care about number one.
Absolutely.
And whenever I have a leader, whenever one of my commanders or whenever one of my bosses takes the time out of their day to come and talk to me about things that are personal to me and
Mm-hmm.
that they care, I follow that person
Mm-hmm.
because they showed an
Absolutely.
interest in me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Empathetic.
Yeah.
Very
So
empathetic.
empathy
Mm-hmm.
and caring, right? And so really what it is just at the end of the day, we want to create leadership moments. One of my favorite things to kind of say
Yeah, that's
is that, leadership goes beyond titles, right? Do you have to be a manager to be a leader?
Not at all.
Why? What's the difference?
Well, you're opening a can of worms with me because there are a lot of managers that think they are leaders,
There you go.
and that's just not the case. A leader is going to get you to do things that you wouldn't normally do. They're going to not tell you what to do.
Mm,
They're going to do it with you.
sure. Absolutely. And that's the next point we make is that, are all managers good leaders?
Oh,
Right?
Yeah.
Not
No.
necessarily, right?
No.
And then that also goes into, people don't leave companies,
correct.
they leave people,
Yes.
right?
True.
Can't do the same for our families, can't leave our family as much as sometimes we may want to. All of that to say, creating leadership moments is how we kind of make it important about others, right? So when we go and meet someone new, or the people that we know every day, how can we go further by remembering something about them? And really, I just kind of say that the answer really is just, living intentionally. That is probably the biggest thing that when you read the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Great book.
Is it?
Excellent.
Have you guys read it? You guys read it, right?
Definitely re-listening to it again.
Oh, good
Yep.
for you.
It's an amazing book.
Good for you.
Yep.
Fun fact, that book, it was written in 1930s, I believe. It was published.
It's a little bit older than Mickey. Did you know that?
Is that when you roughly were born?
It was like 1938.
Not a chance.
Wow.
Chance. That's why he's so wise.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
it is.
Oh,
Searched up for that one. That's good.
I will say that being older and wiser, that's why I went in the Navy, not the Air Force.
Mm-hmm.
Does that happen every time?
Yeah, it does. Yep, that's right. That's exactly it.
Well, with that being said, fun fact about that book is that the training came first. So if you didn't know, that there is a Dale Carnegie training program. It's called Skills for Success, the Human Relations course. And so that a lot of that information in there comes from there. So something that I do as a Dale Carnegie instructor is just really give people the chance and give permission to live intentionally, permission to grow and see how it can help them in their professional life and in their personal life.
So I like what you just said there. Gives them permission to grow.
Mm-hmm.
Like that is a really powerful statement. But you've said to live this intentionally. What does that mean for those people out there who've never read How to Win Friends and Influence People, or have never even heard of Dale Carnegie? Like, what does that mean for them?
Yeah. And so to kind of back up a little bit what we were talking about, where we think of like our I call it in the class as a success triangle, right? Thinking of someone in your realm that that is successful and a leader. And you ask yourself some of that is that, are we born with it? Some of us are just born natural leaders, and we're born good communicators. And I would challenge that by saying you're not necessarily born with it, but you can learn it.
Mm-hmm.
And it starts with intention. It starts with how much effort you want to give, right? It's just like your employee engagement. You have that discretionary effort that your employee could give if they wanted to.
Yes.
And same with us as professionals and as just leaders in our home.
Mm-hmm.
It's that effort that we could give kids, spouses, when we see that it's important. And that's the unfortunate part about it, is that we don't always see that it's important until it hits us in the face.
That's usually what happens. I know.
Happens to me a lot.
I was about to say, Mickey, I have to smack him in the face all the time. Like, not just figuratively.
Not just figuratively. Absolutely. Absolutely.
And then I get it right back. I'll just be walking and all of a sudden I just get hit in the head with something. I was like, oh, that was Mickey because I forgot something.
Yep. Like a podcast.
Like that's right.
I love it. Absolutely. Well, and so the point of that is that, we
yeah. Well, the point of this is it's hard to live intentionally, right?
It is.
Like, there's so much stuff that happens in life. I mean, married, you have kids, you have those friends that you're just like, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
And knowing this, especially as a Dale Carnegie trainer, this has to be hard. When your kids are doing something and you're like, patience. Lord, I need patience. You're making me a saint right now, child.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Like, how do we handle those situations? Because that in turn is deepening your relationship with whoever is like, making you want to pull your hair out.
Sure. Absolutely. And I think it really comes down to curiosity over criticism.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, right.
That's good.
And that's the first rule, right? Is don't criticize, condemn, or complain. In the Dale Carnegie book, it is don't criticize, condemn, or complain.
Yep.
And that is the only rule that's written in the negative. So I always, ask my participants, ask my, people is, what can we do instead?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Instead of criticizing, condemning, and complaining, curiosity, encourage, and educate, right? We all know the importance of education in when it comes to our leadership. So I think especially when something's going on with my kids, I've got young kids, and I think we've all been there. Your kids are young.
No, they are
He's
not.
born in like 1940.
My youngest child is 17.
Hey, you have your own set of challenges. You're telling me it doesn't get easy.
Sure, it gets easier.
Absolutely. And approaching it with a curiosity. That actually just happened the other day. So I do a training. It's It's an 8-week training is primarily what we do. And I'm actually fortunate enough to go through it right now with a local construction crew around here. More than construction crew, it's Bayer contractors, Bayer general contractors. And, one of their people kind of got up and he said, that he wanted to live intentionally and wanted to do something different. And one of his children came home with not a great report card. And it's when people say, how I would normally respond is immediately get into them.
Yeah.
Why is it? Why is it? And instead, I just took the time in the moment to ask them, is there something deeper going on? What, why do we have this? What support do you need from me? And even that shift between that parent and that child is really that curiosity over criticism. And we can apply that in all areas.
So that's
powerful.
That's
powerful.
That's really powerful because let's turn this to an entrepreneur who has a client or a customer who is furious about something.
Good example.
Yeah.
How do we become curious to deepen that relationship instead of making them a customer who's going to give us a bad review or a customer who's just going to go out and never use us again and blast our name in a terrible way? How do we take that as an opportunity to grow?
Yeah. I mean, I think, anytime that there is an opportunity for an argument, avoid it. Right. And of course, admitting our own mistakes. Admitting our own mistakes and trying to find the accountability of the role that we play in the situation. Even if, especially even if there's someone at a restaurant who's upset and they're mad about this, this, and this, and yes, the customer is always right. Yeah. How can we find a way to still save space and give a fine reputation for both of us? And just, find where can we apologize? Where can we find that connection and that invitation for learning more?
Yeah.
And typically, again, the curiosity is, are you really mad about this surface level, or is there something deeper that you're upset about? Right. And I think that again is just that it's living intentionally. It's trying to not do what you would normally do. And do something different. And
do something to try to deepen your connection with that person, regardless.
Absolutely.
Sure.
What's kind of going on.
Show some empathy towards them.
Absolutely.
I think empathy goes a long way in that because people say, I know you're upset. What happened? And it's curiosity with empathy.
Tell me more.
Yes.
Right. More about
exactly.
That. Yeah. And even that little shift could really shift the conversation.
Yeah.
And
it could. I mean, that kind of stuff could truly change kind of how the entire situation goes. And especially with families too, right?
Yes.
And friends. I know for Thanksgiving, we go and hang out with my friends because we go back home and nobody ever leaves back home. And now all of a sudden it's how do I deepen that relationship with them when I see them once, twice a year?
Being present. Honestly, that's what I think. When I hear you kind of talk about how, how do we turn it off and how do we truly be present with the other person?
Yeah.
And then how do we talk in terms of their interest? And it really just starts with the questions, right?
Yes.
When you ask the right question or a deeper question, it really allows the other person, what does that do for them?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
What does it do for them? And what does it do for us when you have a question that you can see the other person?
I like that.
So let's roll this into the business world because we meet people all the time. I met you for a cup of coffee.
Absolutely.
So, how can you utilize this, living intentional empathy and building that deeper relationship when you first meet somebody that first time as a business owner or meeting around a coffee? What are some things that we can do to start deepening that relationship from the beginning?
So funny we say that. So some of the workshops that I've done and some of the session 1 that we do in our Dale Carnegie, we actually give a memorization conversation link that allows you to actually talk to the other person, right? Because do you think that memory has a strong place in our relationships with people? Would you think that your memory has some impact?
Yeah, I've noticed it getting a little vaguer the older I get, but
sure.
Exactly. It's only 90 years old.
Exactly. And of course it's nice whenever we can remember instead of, hey, how's your child doing? Right. Versus, hey, how was, L's parent teacher conference yesterday,
Yeah.
right? It's a little bit of that shift. And taking the time, and that requires effort and it requires memory to build on those relationships. Have a notes app, have a chance to be like, I met this person, right? I met Ryan, and I know that this is the, business that he owns. And I know that this is how old his children are or what's going on. And just kind of remember that.
What do
That's
you
good.
think? Yeah. What do you think are like the key things that you want to truly take away when you are meeting somebody for the first time?
Well, people don't remember what you said.
Mhm.
People remember how you made them feel.
Ooh, this is some young lady wisdom.
Wow, that's
Not even old man wisdom here.
I
wow.
want to actually say, that's actually my aunt is who, and it's one of my favorite quotes, honestly, of all time. And along with, don't let the world change your smile. Let your smile change the world.
Ooh, that's a good
Those are
one.
probably my two favorite quotes.
Young lady quote.
Yeah.
Coming at us.
But again, people they don't remember, they're not going to remember your pitch. They're not going to remember that. They don't remember maybe the energy that you brought in the room.
Yeah.
Right. And it's really everything from the book, from the training, but really just the intentionally is not about us. It's about how I show up to be for others. Yeah. And, it's giving, right? When on Christmas, right? Is it more important for us to get all the presents, or do we really find joy in giving the presents to those that I love or those that we want to get to know? Right. And so I think that it's really just finding the joy of just giving to others and understanding that, that extra moment, that extra minute you spend looking someone in the eye and remembering them name. I would say that that's another big thing is just even if you don't remember their name, that's fine. But just, hey, Neil, it's so great to see you, right? Mickey, thank you. And finding a way to work that in because, that's what, one of the things that Dale Carnegie says is to remember someone's name because in any language in the world, it's important to them.
Yep. That's the sweetest sound.
Sweetest sound.
Yep.
You know it. Absolutely.
It is.
Absolutely.
I use that when I go out and I'm eating. I try when the server comes up and they introduce themselves and they give me their name. I memorize their name. So every time they come and they bring something to me, I say, thank you, thank you, Neil, or whoever it is. And you can see the change in their step because let's face it, being a server is hard.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, everybody thinks that's an easy job, but man, they get ran through the ringer.
Yes, a lot.
And for me personally, and Neil, this is just who I am. I try to make their day a little bit better.
Yep.
And by saying their name to them, and even when I'm leaving, hey, thanks, Neil. I appreciate everything today. You were awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you do. And again, that's, something happened in your life that made you realize the importance of doing that. And that's the awareness, right? That's why, you are considered a leader and also why we invite people to just be able to learn because you're right. I've been a server also, and you do. Customers can make a difference, right?
Yes, they can.
And absolutely. So I think that it does. It goes beyond, and it's also just giving that person grace, allowing that person to make mistakes, right? Again, not just talking about the server, but the people in our lives, giving them that space. For sure.
And Mickey, I think you said something really important. You didn't realize it. But at the end of it, you were like, you were awesome. Yeah. Well, you didn't realize where I was going with this. But
all right, I'll begin to that.
You realized,
I guess. I just take
wisdom coming out of here.
Absolutely.
But as Mickey said, when he's leaving, he says, thank you, Neil. You were awesome. That was genuine, authentic praise. And that is, well, hand it over to the Dale Carnegie.
I was going to say, I started to say on that.
Yeah.
They can see she's ready to go.
Because there's a lot to this.
There is.
And it is. And it's so for one, we have a whole section in our training, and any trainings that I do on recognition and the power of recognition, right? I always like to ask people, who here gets too much appreciation? Do you get too much appreciation?
Not from him.
I should. That's a good job.
Last time I went to lunch with him,
I just
he made me buy lunch. Last time I went to lunch with him, he's like, "You're buying."
Yeah. Do you guys have a bet going on though that you probably owed him something or like?
Yeah,
I was gonna say because you said something nice about him.
Oh yeah, the $20.
Right.
Yeah.
Something like that.
And then I say something nice about him, way more than he says.
Clearly it needs to. We will have a power of recognition activity off camera. I will make you guys.
You seem big, Jay.
You are awesome. And for one, it's timely, right? It's a timely thing, and also why. What's missing is the evidence, right? And that is where we want to hit the bullseye. And so I love to do this demonstration on pretty much just how we deliver all the things that we could recognize someone for.
Yeah.
And the really to hit the bullseye is the personality trait, right? You are awesome. Sure. Let's go deeper, right? You are dedicated. You are committed. And why, right? We're talking to a server. Thank you, Neil. You know, you were right. You were awesome. You kept my drinks refilled the whole time. I didn't have to ask for anything. You came and checked on my table. That way I didn't have to miss anything, right?
Yep.
It's the evidence. And so when we take that level of appreciation and we translate that into our kids, into our spouse, into our employees, hey, thanks for being here. It's a job.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
Because you showed up today, we were able to get this job done a little bit faster.
Yeah.
We hit our deadline because of you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Did that take much time?
no.
Right. And so I think that evidence and again, like personality traits, because now you're not focusing on what they have, what they do, you're focusing on who they are.
So, question with that, because we're all getting ready to go eat some fun turkey, some good food, Thanksgiving
Absolutely.
food, some of my favorite. What happens when you have that family member you just can't find a good personality trait for?
Wow, what a great
And
question.
you, I'm gonna show appreciation. Do it. What do we do?
Wow, that's a good question.
It is a really good question. And that is, it's like, how do we deal with the difficult people?
Yeah.
Right. And it's not necessarily that you, I mean, that's a tough one. And it really goes on each individual relationship, but we all have them. But in the book, How to Friends and Influence People, but also just kind of in our lives, it's really just, you know, how do we gain cooperation with that person? And so it's really just, again, finding a way to make it about them. If you really don't want to spend a lot of, not really effort, but, you know, you don't want to have to work. Just again, ask them a question to get them talking about themselves because people like that, right? And if you don't want to have that kind of component, I would just say that that's really what you have to do is just get them talking about them. And also just ask the question like, hey, man, like what's keeping you busy lately? Or ask them to see the positive in something, right?
That's
for sure.
I think it's a really good point. And I think it's something everybody listening to this right now, especially, is going to struggle with because we all have that one family member we're just like, oh man, I really, it's going to be tough.
And I think she hit something really important there. People love to talk about themselves. And when you said what's been going on with you, that opened them to say, oh, Neil, I'm so glad you asked. Man, I thought you didn't like me. And then they're going to go on and they're going to, you know, personal vomit on you like they do.
Correct.
No.
And
there are exit strategies you can have, right? You know, especially like at networking events, you know, when you kind of get trapped and stuff. And it's important to make them because not everyone's taking the time. So to remember to be that person, to show up for the person that people are avoiding, you know, you're going to learn something new. Every single experience you have is a teachable one, right?
Yeah, it is.
But it is. So you can have exit strategies, I think. But again, if you want to turn it on them, otherwise, you know, just smile.
Just smile.
That's, I mean, if all else fails, make it and just smile. Great.
That's right.
That sounds great.
You talk about learning experience and you always learn something. I had heard something listening to, one of the numerous books Neil sends me to listen to. And
I care.
What?
Still, I care.
Here we go. Is it caring or is it
Katie.
And it was a quote, and it says, "Everybody that you meet is smarter than you." And when you listen to that, at first everybody go, "What, Neil? I fly in planes. How's Mickey smarter than me?" But there's a life experience or something that they have that you don't.
Absolutely.
So when you say, you know, those things, that there's somebody's a learning experience, there's something that they are smarter than you about.
So you want to know what's funny? It's actually from How to Win Friends and Influence People.
That's where I did. Oh,
And it is, everyone is inferior, or you are inferior to everyone in some way.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's right. It is that book.
And you know, that takes humility in us, right? And you know, does humility have a place in leadership?
Yes, very much so.
Absolutely.
Very much so.
Does humility have a place in our marriage?
Oh, yeah.
Does humility have a place as us as parents?
100%.
Right?
Everything we do, we have.
We know we should, right? Exactly. I know.
Oh, I could tell you stories about my kids humbling me. Oh my goodness.
You're right.
It happens.
Absolutely.
That's a whole nother podcast.
Yep.
I know. Parenting podcast comes
That's here we go.
But you know, similar to what you're saying on like, you know, but imagine everyone, and I think is, you know, also from the book, but is everyone has a sign that says make me feel,
Yeah.
you know? And you know, we know that quote, and I think so much of what we do is because what's that, saying about how you want to do business with people you
No, like and trust.
absolutely, absolutely. And I'm not sure if like Dale Carnegie is the one that coined it, but honestly, these concepts have been around for so long that has trajected, Zig Ziglar and Warren Buffett and Stephen Covey, right? They are all from here. But again, you can make others, right? You can get more people interested in you, or excuse me, do you guys know what I'm trying to say? It's
you get more people interested in, or no, it's if you are more interested in them.
Yes.
What is it? You will gain more.
I know this.
More customers in 2.
You can gain more friends in 2 months by being genuinely interested in them. By more friends than in 2 years by having them interested in you. It's so much better. It's just, play on words. But at the end of the day, what does it mean?
Yeah.
Right.
It's helping them understand that you care about them.
Genuine interest.
Yeah. It's truly
showing appreciation. And it is. It's interest, appreciation, intentionality, humility. I would think that that's just the foundation and the crux that keeps it moving.
So with all this, because Dale, like you said, this was written right before Mickey was born. Right. So
when the Titanic sank.
Yeah, when the Titanic sank. So
how do you know I wasn't on the Titanic?
Hey, Jack. So
wouldn't get off the door.
I know.
Here's that rabbit hole we go off. But with all this, we are experiencing a time, an era that we have never in human history dreamt of.
Yes.
Right? AI is taking over. Technology is becoming so inundated in everything that we do.
Yeah.
How do skills from 1936, almost 100 years ago, 90 years ago,
absolutely,
months, why are those important?
Yeah.
How are those important when, you can just ask AI.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I'll start with the first is that, the training itself started in 1912. That is literally the year.
Wow.
Titanic.
Okay, that is older than me.
Okay. We'll give you that. That training was built, and that's kind of how the book was written, not just from the training, but there's there's Charles Schwab and Abraham Lincoln are in there. And also, Mr. Banks and Mrs. Flowers. There's different level of people, right? He will say that took our training, right? So all of that to say, these are common sense principles that your grandma taught you, that her grandma taught her, that everyone, and it is similar to the golden rule, but how come they're not commonly applied?
Yeah, that's a great point.
And I think so, we go back to this and I think it is, so, it's been out for over 113 years, right? The training. Now this training is global. It is the same. Yeah. It's offered in over, 80 languages. And all of that to say, it does still continue to be the top training because it is the space where you come and again, you get that permission to grow. You get the permission to go outside of your comfort zone and into your growth zone. And not your panic zone.
Nope.
Growth zone.
Love it.
And again, your permission to grow and go practice what your mama told you, right? Go practice what you preach. Go practice. And, I have to quote Ben Baldwin for this one. Ben Baldwin is local here in Pensacola. He works for Torgerson Consulting. And he'll say himself, I think he's 20.
Super good dude.
Yeah, super good dude. And so he won after our class, everyone gets a highest achievement award. And there's one winner that's just like the walking testimonial. And he says, look, at my age, he's, some non-millennial, right? Gen Z. He's like, we need this now more than ever. Yeah. We need this now to know not only just how to look people in the eye, have a contact, get in front of the room, right? Training aside, how do we go back to the basics of how we were supposed to communicate with that genuine intention? So it is timeless because it's not necessarily being taught in schools, and so I think that that's probably why it does still continue to get the success that it does as far as, just these methodologies. But it's also because everyone can make it their own. It's not just one size fits all.
Yeah.
This is a book that you can read at any point in time in your life and you can apply it with your marriage. You can apply it with your boss. You can apply it with your kids. You can apply it with your, employees. I think.
And it truly does deepen those relationships if you live it intentionally.
When you live
Yes.
intentionally.
Mhm.
When.
Yes.
That's one thing. Like,
Mhm.
I always say it's not if.
Nope. It's when.
When.
When
Right.
you live it intentionally.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's one thing that I think that, again, I always like to tell the story of just a good old Alabama guy who pretty much, he actually got up whenever the class was done and he said, I was pretty much voluntold to take this. And we get a couple of those, right?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Where it's pretty much just like, look, you pretty much have to take, this class is supposed to help you work with people. You are going to be a great contender for many.
He has voluntold. I'm making Mickey go through this.
That's why
He wants to do it because we need someone to come in strong
That's right.
and ready. And maybe like this person who came in and said, look, my boss said I have to take this, or I'm pretty much just like, not going to go well. Not only did it help me in my job, it also helped me in, wait for it, guys, it helped him in his marriage.
Wow.
Wow, that's
did.
fantastic.
It really did.
Fantastic.
And I will be honest, that guy also won the highest achievement award.
Wow. That's right.
It really is. So again, but it's not, it's not, oh, these are good ideas, but you have to be intentional.
Yes.
You have to apply, right? Because we've all been to those conferences and those trainings that are educational and inspirational.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And we get the knowledge, and you and I, we all love good education.
Yep.
And we get the knowledge, but then we fall into the knowledge trap.
Yes.
Right. And so it's really just, it's just like with, losing weight, quitting smoking, all these things. You want to develop a skill. I want to develop a skill to be a more likable person.
That's right.
You have to put it in practice.
Yeah.
And so that's another thing that that's where my passion is helping people put it in passion or put it in progress.
Watch his face. It's almost like you need to create new synapses.
I know. That's exactly what I'm Katie, what are some good habits
Here we go
today to start
He loves
establishing
that
these
stuff.
neural pathways so they become an anchor habit and we just do that
Yes.
without
It's like I read your mind.
Yeah.
yeah. Way too
Wow.
I do.
And that is a great question. And it really just, it's like, one bite at a time. What is one thing I can do differently? And I would say that if there is one thing that we could take away from the big book, the 8 weeks of training, yes, it's living intentionally, and yes, it is using someone's name in in a sentence, right?
Yep.
I think being intentional also goes into just show up. Yes, be present and show up for the other person and ask about them, and don't listen to respond, right? Listen to connect. Absolutely. Yeah.
Don't listen to respond, listen to understand.
Absolutely. And so I think that the one thing that you can do and the one habit is just, what question can I ask about this person? And not to, we are in the age of the AI. So, let's use our resources, right? Use your AI, use your ChatGPT. Hey, help me be hey, act as a Dale Carnegie instructor and help me ask intentional questions to build relationships. There's really nothing wrong with that.
No,
right?
I like that.
Yeah.
That is something that everybody listening to this right now or watching it, especially if you're on a road trip,
Whoop, whoop, going home.
you can get out of the car and apply this immediately.
Yeah.
Be intentional.
Absolutely.
Say their names. Be curious about them.
Be curious.
Yeah.
It really is.
Wow.
It really is. I think so.
Imagine stopping into, bathroom break, getting your snacks, and you go up and you go to pay, and you talk to that person, you stand by their name because you see their name tag.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you just say, I hope you have a good Thanksgiving.
You have a good day, right? Especially with Thanksgiving, right?
Curious about them, right?
Yeah.
What's your favorite Thanksgiving?
Exactly.
Right. We all love to talk about food.
Yes.
Right. We all love to talk about our pets and then getting deeper about to the game. But again, when we think about within our family and within our, work family, is really asking them to collaborate on ideas.
Yes.
Right. Because I think that a good entrepreneur, a good leader, you invest in your business every day, invest in your employees, invest in yourself, because that will come back to you. And you have ideas. Where can you invite collaboration? Where can you invite assistance, right? Invite someone to come in and be like, you know what, I have an idea. I would love to get your thoughts on this idea. And now what are we creating?
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
I would say that, I think that is another habit you can do, right? Maybe you're a strong communicator. Maybe you do know your people. Where can you ask for their help?
Yeah. I like that.
And it helps you, right? It helps us as individual or, helps us, sure, like, oh, I need some extra ideas, but what is it doing for you?
Yes. And it goes right back to getting them involved, being
Absolutely.
serious with them,
Yep.
and bringing them into your life.
Which is also going back to what we said at the beginning, which is leadership.
Yep.
Right? How we can
Exactly.
all be a leader beyond our title.
Yes, exactly. Mickey, you got any old man wisdom for us?
Oh, wow. It's hard to follow that.
Young lady wisdom.
There's a lot of
Pops
wisdom
old man
coming.
wisdom every day.
I feel
And-
smarter just sitting here with you today.
We're not any young ladies role people.
He sits with me every day, so he
And it
needs
kind of
some
dumbs
smart
me
people.
down a little
Yeah.
bit. I got to work back up. But
He needs some
anyway,
smart people.
relationships are critical to our lives, not just in business, but in everything that we do.
Mm.
And empathy and relationship building, whether it's your customers or whether it's your people, asking questions, that intentionality is critical. But I would encourage you to do it with real passion and realness, because if you're doing it just because you read it in the Dale Carnegie book and you're not true, people will tell
Mm.
and it won't matter.
Some great advice.
So
Mhm.
really do it. And I think you'll find as you do it, you'll start to really start connecting with people. And in today's day and age where everything is done through a text message
Mm.
and everything's done through email, those genuine relationships are falling harder and harder to get. Make them matter. Make them matter. I mean, that's why, Neil, every morning when I send my first text, Neil, it's good morning.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Because that's that relationship thing. And I don't just say it because it's a thing because I want Neil. That's a start for Neil and his day. I hope that I make his day a little bit better in that thing. So
in
Well, also-
reality, I'm like, man, I got a text from Mickey already.
And also, if you didn't text him, he would understand, oh my gosh, something's wrong.
he would.
That's true.
Right? And
That
he
is
would
very
check
true.
in, and he
Yep.
would know that we've come to expect this pattern.
Yep.
We've come to kind of expect this. And also, I'm going to check in with you because he cares about you. Like, oh, I didn't get my morning text from Mickey.
Yeah.
Right?
Like,
Let's do wellness checks.
yeah. Which has happened before.
And he would just say, I just had a
has.
breakfast taco. Leave me
Yeah.
alone.
That's exactly what is going to happen. I have breakfast taco.
Absolutely. But I love that you guys have a very strong relationship. And, you can tell that you care about each other, and it's very important. And
Well,
you're doing.
we have
you.
deepened that relationship,
Oh, yeah.
which is
It
what
doesn't
this
start at the
no.
beginning, right? You
No.
have to build time. It does.
Correct.
It takes a culture of trust, and openness, but again, effort and curiosity
Yep.
and intentionality.
Awesome.
And tacos.
There's a young
Barbecue.
lady with right
Barbecue.
there, the barbecue and
You know
tacos.
what? You earned some barbecue sauce this year. I'm making some.
There you go.
You've heard it here,
See?
folks.
Yep.
Yep.
Christmas. All right, folks. That is it, though. We got to wrap it up.
One more thing.
Uh-oh.
Don't you have something coming up pretty soon? I'm stoked about it.
Oh my gosh.
January.
Yes.
You know, because you're sending me because he's a great leader.
Oh, yeah. Dale Carnegie Training coming up
Yes.
starting January. This is one of those, hey, Mickey, you have to go to this kind of thing. You don't really have a choice.
And then he met with me. He says, I want to go to this thing.
Yes.
So much like
I
he's a
did.
champion.
Yes, give us some deets on that real fast.
Yes, absolutely. Hey, January 2026, Pensacola, Florida. Was still working out the details as far as the time and the place, but it is an 8-week program. You can just give up probably 8 Thursdays a night, right? You can just do it, right? Probably be on Thursdays, but either way, just come and just get the permission to grow.
Mhm.
Again, you invest in your business.
Yes. Invest in yourself.
Invest in yourself or invest in your employees, right? Bring someone along with you that you can grow with, and just come ready to be transformed. Did you know, fun fact real quick, is that Warren Buffett had only one diploma, one certificate on his wall, and it was his Dale Carnegie course.
That's right.
It's awesome.
Yes. And so it's accredited. It's ISO 9001. You can get continuing education credits. So would love to hear from anyone who is interested and just wants to come check it out, or we can bring it to your business. But I'm here in Pensacola, and I would love to learn more about you and how we can help.
See, heard it here, guys.
I will be there.
Come meet. Yes. Come be a
So,
part of
I'll be
the
there.
Yes.
Vicky.
And you'll see Katie's info in our description as well. So you guys can just reach out to her because she's probably the smartest person sitting here.
Without a doubt.
We want to have everybody and help everybody deepen their relationships. And this is probably the best way to start.
Thank
No.
you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Katie. Appreciate you coming.
Yes, we are really happy to have you here with
you.
us. Yeah.
Absolutely. So honored. Honored to be here. Thank you. Thank you so much. This is fantastic.
And in the spirit of Thanksgiving, thank you to all of our listeners.
Yes. Appreciate it.
Yep, this is why we do this. We appreciate you, going back to the reasons why, for taking the time out of your day to better yourselves. Hopefully you are getting something out of this. And we just truly want to help you grow.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Guys.
Yeah. Hustle. been grinding, don't know where to go. And my coast board got the knowledge flow. Whispers in the wind, strategies unfold. Business blueprint like a pirate's code.